And we are back. And we are back. And as I said, we got callers on the line. Larry, what's going on?
Hello.
Hey, Larry.
Hi, Vondas. Real quick, I'm going to make it real quick. So the thing is about the oligarchs, and you're right about that. I mean, you sell your soul to the devil to be in the elite, to be.
But let me ask you a question, Larry. Larry, obviously, I don't know too much about your background, but, I know that you probably come from a decent family, okay? But can you imagine, Larry, in your lifetime, not being able to take care of your family, getting out of prison, living on the or damn near living on the street, and somebody come to you and they say, listen, Larry, all the worries you ever had about money will be gone if you go ahead and become an oligarch and support Putin. You understand how we are looking at this from a different vantage point?
I just answer it this way. If someone said that to me in this country, if someone made
of
me
course.
an offer, so to speak,
you say no.
If someone in this country,
go ahead. What would you say?
Okay, here's the way I look at it. Either way, there's a price to pay. There's a price to pay.
Yes.
When you become wealthy beyond reason.
Yes.
In this country or in Russia, there's always going to be a price to pay in one respect or another. So in Russia, you don't have the freedom of speech to say you are obligated. You will pay a price to Putin, as an example. So all these billionaires that he's made billionaires, they cannot step up. They don't have the freedom of speech to say and do what they want there like we have here. So that's one price that, no, I would not want to pay.
Right.
In this country, if someone came up to me and said that to me, if I was destitute on the street, as you just have illustrated, my question would be, seriously, what do I have to do? And I would have to weigh, I would have to weigh the cost of someone putting me in that position, because I'm not going to do anything that could land me in jail or whatever. If someone asked me to do something that could imprison me or put me at some, it all depends. And usually whenever there's a situation where someone wants to give you something, you usually have to ask, at what cost? I mean, because the truth of the matter is, there's no free lunch.
That's right.
There's really no free lunch.
So let me ask this question. Follow along now. Let me ask this question. So Larry, somebody says, you're not going to prison, but I need your complete loyalty. I'm going to make you a billionaire, but if I turn around and I say, Larry, they about to take it, will you roll with me and still be my backup? You're not going to prison, no to jail. You might lose a little clout in the world. You might lose a couple billion dollars, a couple $1 million. But Larry, I got you. You're not going to prison. You're not going to court. What would you say?
I would not I can tell you this, I would not jump at it. I would not, until I really sat down and talked to people who are smarter than me. I would go to attorneys. I would go to people who could tell me.
And they say, listen, everything is above board and is legit, but it's about loyalty. If I give you $1,000, can I get 10? That's all I want to know. Can I get 10? And so many of these people saying, well, you know what? Take the yachts. Take whatever it is. Maybe I won't have the same clout and standing throughout the world, but I wouldn't have had it if it hadn't been Putin. And that is how he's controlling these people. He's not giving them $1,000, $10,000. He's giving them billions, like you said, things we don't even understand, wealth we don't even understand. He's allowing them to entertain uh, uh, Leonardo DiCaprio and all of these people on their $1 million boats. People just,
My thing,
what do you do? That's a hard one.
it's very hard, but it's the same thing in a different respect, even in this country. We all look upon people who have hundreds of millions, billions. It doesn't really matter at a certain point. Once you get to several $100 million, it really doesn't matter anymore. But the question is, when people look at people who are extremely wealthy, they often don't look at the downside of it. They all say, gee, I would love to have a life like that, like the rich and famous. They show them on TV. You see it every day. The athletes, the entertainers, all the LeBron James, all these people are making, it doesn't matter, LeBron James, Steph, all of them. It's not just, they're glorified for the money they have, but no one ever looks at the downside of wealth. They're only looking at it through rose-colored glasses. They don't realize, what about all the hangers-oners? Everybody has got they have friends.
But let me ask this question, right? And I understand that, but let me ask this. So what would you, if you were in that situation, could you roll with Putin? And do you think that we should keep sticking our neck into this and somehow slip and be involved in this ourselves? What's your take on that?
I think the idea, I'm not a Biden fan at all. And I think.
So what you say is, right. So do you think that we should just say, forget it, let's go to war?
I think he's doing, in respect to trying to keep us out of a war, which could, ignite the whole world into a nuclear war. To be honest with you, I think that Putin has sized up Biden to be weak.
Yes.
I don't think, in all due respect, if Trump were there, I don't think Putin they had a meeting before the summit meeting they had. I just think that Biden has not looked upon the world leaders in the same way that other presidents are, Trump being one of them. So I think there's certain things that Putin is doing, and he probably has sized up Biden to know that he will not be as forthcoming, and he would not be as aggressive as other presidents, including Trump, would be. I don't believe.
I got a question. Does it bother you that you had significant people, that Michael Flynn, when we have Roger Stone, Paul Manafort, all of these people getting money from Russians? Does that bother you at all, or no?
Okay, I would only say, look at this way. What about other politicians' kids? And what about Hunter Biden? What about Pelosi's son? What about Mitt Romney?
But here's the situation. If these people are right, listen, they're not only giving them money, but there's an allegation, a strong allegation from Julian Assange of WikiLeaks that we know they dumped those emails before the election. Doesn't that bother you? That don't stink a little bit? Because you know what I'm saying? How is it Julian Assange, who is the editor of WikiLeaks, okay, Roger Stone, dealing with the Russians, and they tipped Stone to Hillary Clinton's campaign message that would be published. You had Trump saying, when those emails drop, don't that sound kind of weird? It's like me, and what it is, then you have Paul Manafort, okay, and all of these other people, getting money to the Trump organization. But you mentioned these emails, and WikiLeaks that's where they came from. They sabotaged them. Do you want to win like that?
to be honest with you, politics on both. You see, I don't think it's any more right. I think, to me, I'm not saying that Trump is all right and everybody else is wrong. I might have voted for him. Does that mean I agree with everything he or his cronies or everybody else did was right? Absolutely not.
Now listen to this. Listen to this. Felix Sater, he was a business associate of Trump, pled guilty to stock fraud schemes aligned with the Russian mafia. What in the hell is Donald Trump, the president, even knowing a hoodlum like Felix Sater, okay, who pled guilty, said, I did it. I did it. And he invested Russian mafia funds, which they told him, look, this guy's a bad character, but who, you know, they hooking them up. We got to be careful. You know, sometimes, unfortunately, Saul Laura, an FBI informant and convicted felon who broke the $150 million deal with Salter. We got to start to look at people's connections. And a lot of times where there's smoke, there's fire. I agree. Isolated business deals are not good, but guess what they show? All y'all for sale. But when you start talking about leaking emails, that's a problem. But look, we'll be back. We got some more callers on the line. Thank you, Larry, always for calling. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.